And what I wanted to share with you is that with the criminal justice system, criminal injustice system, look at your history, everybody. Please look at your history. You know, it's never over. It isn't. Especially if you are currently under, I guess, property of the state or whatever, under the probation system or whatever. It's not over. Even if they tell you that it's over on this date, if you do not have a piece of paper in your hand that dictates and states that it's over, and even when you receive that piece of paper in hand, it may have so many different types of stipulations to go with it that basically is just negating itself. So for me, even though what I've been told, and I've been told many different things, is that July 31st was the end, even though that I've just been told that everything is done as far as that officer was concerned, it means absolutely nothing. Because I was also told to come and I could pick up my items, my paperwork on that date. I was also told in the middle of August, I was also told that they would have received it in their office by then, and that was why I was waiting till the middle of August, because what she told me, and I said, she says, oh, we may not have received it by then. So what she said to me is, we may not have received it by then. And I said, oh, okay, so do you think that if I waited till the middle of August, you should have received the paperwork by then? Oh, yeah, we should have received it by then. But then when I just talked to her, she says, oh, it's not received from anywhere. That they have people in the office that just type it up. If that's the case, wouldn't a copy of it have been typed up and placed in my file? It makes absolutely no sense. I don't understand it. No sense. So just like everything else in my life, you know, something's not right. You know what I'm saying? Something's not right, you know. And if they're doing something different than what should be done, I can expect, you know, there to be some type of craziness that's going to be on there that negates the whole fact that it's over. And so, like I said, this whole criminal justice system thing is very new to me, even though I've been under the system for the last 4 years on probation, but the last 7 years been under the system, meaning I've been in its trenches, you know, related to this same false accusation and conviction. I still honestly don't know jack about it. And that's how a lot of people are that are in the system. They don't know anything about what's going on. They're just doing what they're told to do, because they know by experience that, you know, it could all be over really fast. Anything could happen to you and nobody would be the wiser. I have to tell you, you know, the people that have never been involved, that have never been, it's a very unique situation. And when I say unique, it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen a lot, but it's not publicized a lot. People don't know about it. When you look my name up in the computer, depending on which search engine you use, what you see that's listed as a charge, it says something about fraud. It was not. Nothing at all to do with that. The initial accusation was theft of intellectual property and trade secrets. What happened was I worked at a place for maybe 4 days, 3.5 days. I saw a lot of things that weren't right there. I made a memo of like 33 things that I saw, handed it to the director. I had a column of things that I could do to improve the situation, and had a column for the management approval. Never heard anything back. It was completely ignored. Then the next thing I know, I'm facing charges. Okay? So, I mean, it's a lot more to it than that. Not really a lot more, but it's very devastating to even revisit and to think about it. It's devastating. And when you're under the system like that, it's not an easy thing, because it is, I mean, it tears up the things that are inside of you, psychologically, emotionally. your value system. It tears all of that apart. So my father always taught me that the nail that sticks out gets hammered down. So, and everybody usually works in the middle. So if you're too far off to the right in the goody good world, you're about to get hammered down. If you're too far off to the left in the bad world, you're about to get hammered down. So, I mean, I can't even begin. You know, it is psychological warfare and spiritual warfare. And the reason that I say that is the moment, and these people are trained to be that way. Because if you talk to any officer, you know, that's in that system, they always refer you back to the same person that you initially talked to. They will not answer any questions, give you any information. It's a scary thing, y'all, I have to tell you, you know. And so it's the system that we live in, the society that we live in, or depending on your point of view, the anti-society that we live in, is very compartmentalized. Information is disseminated very sparingly. The information that the general society and public gets is propaganda. It's all lies that are fed into you to make you feel good. But the reality of it, I'm going to tell you, you know, if you're too far off on the good side, you know, maybe the bad people deserve it, but if you're too far off on the good side, you're not going to make it. Because your eyes and your voice is a threat. It threatens to tear down, you know, the blinders that you need to keep on and to keep the system going. Okay? Now for me, little old me, you know, I just followed the rules and regulations. I asked questions, and again, it puts people at unease. Now I'm absolutely nobody. You know, if you've known me at all anytime within the last 4 years, you would think that I did not have a brain, because I didn't question anything, I didn't stir up any feathers, didn't cause any trouble. You know, and I never did that intentionally. You know, I never, you know, made anyone uncomfortable intentionally. Now, the curiosity of a child, like the child in the Emperor's New Clothes, that curiosity of a child coming from a grown, almost 40-year-old woman, people tend to judge people not as who they really are, but as who they themselves are, and based on their personal experiences. So if you're an oddity or an anomaly or different, and you wouldn't dare, you know, ask a question because you're targeting something, but just because you have a general joy of learning and knowing things, chances are they're going to suspect something else, you know, that you know, saw something you shouldn't see, that you're going to tear everything down. Who knows, you know? But, you know, the last channel that I had, you know, I really, you know, I didn't talk about it a lot because it is traumatic. It is traumatizing. But I did put, you know, on the about portion of my channel that that's what it was, you know, being friends of the victims of the criminal justice system, of the people that are falsely accused and convicted. I didn't talk about it all the time because it hurt me. You know, it hurt me. It really did. I can't lie to you on that. It hurt me sorely. It took away any faith that I had, you know, in community, in justice, in the system. And quite sadly, you know, I love people dearly, but people have been programmed to believe, you know, these lies and these misperceptions. And it's their comfort zone. And if you take away a person's comfort zone, you're asking for trouble. You know, people don't want to see the truth. And I would be hypocritical, you know, if I would say that I'm 100% different, because I know the truth. And maybe they know it too, you know, because I know the truth and it hurts me. But I don't talk about it all the time because it hurts me. And for me to go back over and over what I feel and what I know by myself doesn't do any good. You know, I have to be able to connect with somebody else on that level. And have open discussion. You know, before, churches used to be the place that you could do that. Not anymore. The churches are the biggest culprit now. So where do you go? You know, and I was hoping that maybe YouTube or something like that would help, because maybe somebody by mistake, you know, would happen across a victim, a video, or you know, by mistake or just boredom, mere boredom, just happen to look and see, even though they might not be able to tell by my videos what I'm about, to see what's there and maybe take an interest, you know, ask some questions, you know. But anyways, my time is up once again. So